Hello, bonjour, amahoro, abari. Welcome to this new video. My name is Anderson, and today we're talking about integration versus culture. Unless you never traveled abroad, you probably noticed that it's not always easy to blend in a foreign environment and still proudly represent your culture. Many of us immigrants are faced with this dilemma. In the process of assimilating someone else's ways, should you give up your own? Why is it easier for certain groups to maintain their traditions regardless of where they go when others seem to struggle to do so? Is there a hierarchy when it comes to culture? What are the reasons behind the fact that certain immigrants are embraced while others are discriminated? And how is your self-esteem affected in the process of a healthy or toxic integration? Well, let's dive in and examine this issue and see if we can detect elements of answers. First of all, why is this topic important for me? And what led me to ask these questions? Through the course of multiple conversations with various groups of immigrants, I realized that it is a major issue. I spoke with parents who were conflicted with the way they should go about educating their kids while living abroad, and they want to maintain their culture without their kids being alienated for it. But it's easier said than done. Speaking from an African perspective, African refugees, for example, are not always greeted with warm welcomes. Sometimes they're treated like second-class citizens and are having to prove that they're willing and able to adapt and adopt the traditions of the country that they found themselves in. That means sometimes toning down their Africanness and reducing exhibits of their culture. While historically, the process of colonization had similar supposed intents, civilizing the savages and teaching them our ways. Our ways are better than yours, therefore you have to learn them and not the other way around. And we'll still see remnants of this mentality today. An African travels to the US and is looking to get his citizenship, well, he has to go through a tedious process of proving that he understands the American culture, while an American traveling to Africa is not forced to reciprocate. The infamous Senegalese speaker Fatou Diome said it perfectly. Democracy is based on reciprocity. It has to go both ways. Let's see how she says it.
L'Afrique a besoin d'un sursaut d'orgueil. Si vous allez chez quelqu'un et il ne veut pas de vous, restez chez vous. Montrez-lui que vous pouvez le faire. Moi, si je devais balayer encore les toilettes à Strasbourg et nettoyer du carrelage là, je serais parti à Dakar vendre des beignets de mie là. C'est très bon. Je ne suis pas une victime, je suis née libre. Je revendique mes droits et tête haute, mais avec un grand sourire. Au monde de notre époque, c'est une époque de rencontre qu'il fallait assouplir tout ça pour que tout le monde puisse jouir de l'article 13 de la Déclaration universelle des droits de l'homme. Ce n'est pas le cas. Il n'y a que les Européens qui en profitent et les pays riches. Si vous avez certains passeports, vous pouvez visiter 170 pays sans visa. Si vous venez du Sénégal ou du Mali, il y a à peine 30 pays où vous pouvez aller sans visa. Donc, le principe de la diplomatie, c'est la réciprocité. Donc, si je tape en entrant, je tape à la porte pour entrer dans votre chambre, vous devez apprendre à taper pour entrer chez moi. Alors, l'Afrique, c'est comme un moulin. Tout le monde peut ouvrir la porte et plonger là-dedans comme dans une piscine, mais l'inverse n'est pas possible. Mais l'Afrique ne peut pas rester comme un zoo fermé où les gens viendront regarder les Africains et repartir et que les Africains ne soient pas capables de bouger.
So, does it mean that we do not value our culture as much as the ones of developed countries? And what kind of image does it reflect to the world? Subconsciously, we have adhered to this culture hierarchy. As a comparative study, if we take a look at the Chinese population living abroad, we see an entirely different picture. Not only are they able to strive abroad, but they also manage to maintain a strong sense of identity. They build communities, entire neighborhoods filled with 100% Chinese businesses. Their culture is recognizable regardless of where you go, and they're efficiently being able to pass down their tradition from generations to another, while their kids are still able to adopt their foreign ways and even rise to the top of their fields. So what is it that they're doing that we missed? Well, the key point here is the fact that China is respected on the geopolitical scene and their community worldwide is united and active. This is what we're missing. If we don't value ourselves, our tradition and culture, how can we expect others to do so? This is why it's called self-esteem. The first step in our development process is to understand the richness of our nations. When our kids notice the lack of effort that we put in teaching them our ancestors' way, they unconsciously conclude that it is not a necessity. The majority of diaspora and African parents focus more on encouraging their kids to be integrated, and understandably so, as they want their kids to strive in that society. But what they fail to realize is that as time goes by, it gets harder and harder to implement their native traditions in their kids' daily lives. Igiti kigororwa kikiri gito, as we say in Burundi, which translates to, a tree can only be strengthened when it is still small. This could not be more accurate. We have to be intentional and put conscious effort in perpetrating our folklore. Yes, the obstacles are many, and the task at hand is not easy, but it is an absolute necessity if we want to restore our sense of pride and boost our self-esteem. In conclusion, no culture is above the other. We live in a world where we all blend together, therefore we should not be closed to assimilating other people's ways and learn from them. But what gives us a place in this world is our identity. This is what makes us unique. Do not deprive the world of this experience. Wear your colors proudly, even when it's uncomfortable, and share the stories that made you who you are. Thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe. I will see you on the next one.
Quand j'émerge, je me lève comme une tempête. Tellement présent que pour me chercher, pas besoin de faire une enquête. Quand je parle, t'entends la voix des ancêtres. Ils s'adressent à toi en langue, même quand je parle en français. Une nouvelle vague qui note toutes les flaques. Ceux qui dressent les obstacles ressentiront l'impact. Tsunami, unanime, une âme que l'on ne manie.